Welcome to the Purple Rinse, the show where we revisit our least favorite Prince albums and more.
I can't wait no more. No, let's have a baby.
Wow, I'll just quickly chime in on that song. That's a very sad track because something that Susan, Prince's producer, engineer, said. She said that if you want to know about Prince, if you want to know about his life, listen to his music. She said everything, whatever he was going through or whatever he's experiencing, it's all recorded. If you want to know about where he was at any moment in time, he's told you. She said, listen to his music. So I'm listening to that and I'm thinking, wow, this guy really did want a child. You know, he was really, he really wanted a child and he's pouring his heart out and it didn't happen. It didn't happen for him. It didn't happen for him. The one thing he really wanted. And the child died. Gregory, I believe the child's name was, who had something called Pfeiffer syndrome, which is when the bones harden too early in the womb and causes major deformities. And that's what his child had, Pfeiffer syndrome. And was alive for a few days and passed away. And it ultimately was, what destroyed his relationship with Maite. Listening to that track is just very, very, very sad. Just knowing what this guy wanted and he couldn't ever have it. And I know that when that child passed, he was in denial. He didn't really want to talk about it. And it was difficult for Maite, the way Prince handled it. I think being the control freak he was, he just thought he could move on and control the situation, and really you're subject to a situation as a mere human that any other human can experience. Very, very, very moving, very lovely song, very sad song for me. So that's what I thought about Let's Have a Baby. Over to you guys.
Yeah, there's not much to say about this song because it's just a really, really tough track to listen to. And it just goes to show that we could only control so much, no matter how perfect you want to make your life or whatever. There's some things just totally out of your hands. And I'm sure he wanted to, he meant everything he said in that song. And he wanted to be with Maite forever. But it shows how difficult life and relationships can be. And, respect to the winners out there who are able to have the wife, the husband, the children, and still be totally in love. Because it's tough. It's tough. Relationships are super tough. But it's beautiful, and it's with hindsight, it's a hard one. But great so far.
Yeah, that's definitely a sad song, and I remember that song, because everything was fresh at the time, when that album came out. There was even the a video on the first disc for Betcha by Golly. They showed some scenes when he was in the hospital, coming out of the hospital and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's obviously very sad for him that one thing, you don't really ask. You hear songs where Prince is asking for something, and the one thing that he asked for, it didn't happen for him, so this is very sad. But I love the way, he used the upright bass and had those jazz kind of vibes in there, and the stripped down. How stripped down the music was, just piano and double bass, that's all it needed, and his voice, singing raw and giving his emotion. That he just laid it out there. He just laid it all out there in that song,
True.
And so far, man, this album is amazing. This is an amazing album. Really appreciate the work that he did. You can be talented, but there's a lot of work to be done. You can be gifted, But to take it to where he took it, you know, he put in that work, you know. He put in that work, man, and we have to just give him props and thankful that someone else is willing to put in certain work on certain things that a lot of musicians won't, you know, even myself as a musician, you know, like play guitar, but I can't play piano, you know what I mean, you know, and I can play a bit of bass, but I don't play drums. This guy played it all, you know. And that was so he put his heart and soul, he got the gift and he nurtured it, he worked on it, and this is the results of it, you know. All these different, you can hear all the different music and that he's putting into his music, you know, all the influences and things that he's learned, his experiences that he puts in there, he puts it in there, and amazing. That's all I got to say.